Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? All the getting it in. Somebody's getting it for you. What's going on, people? Woo, what's going on, people? It's a day of another week called Sunday. Anyway, that being said, what's going on, people? Hopefully everybody had a great 4th of July. Everybody came back with us safe. You know, and the oopalas and stuff like that, checking out a few things, you know, and stuff like that. I stayed home myself because I didn't want to go through the oopala, trying to get out there and oopala, trying to get back home. Anyway, with that being said, I want to talk to you reference to, you know, I was talking about Karen Cooper before. Now, if you don't know, Karen Cooper is the woman, the black woman who wants to, you know, she's proud of the Confederate flag because she feels as though, you know, it's not a big deal and people just taking it the wrong way and stuff like that. You know, she wants to erase history, and she also wants to start it over again another way. You know, the thing about it is that, like I said before, she do her, I'm not really for it. And in case anybody doesn't know, this is what Karen looks like. Okay, now, the thing about it is that the Confederate flag stands for when back in the day when Master used to have slaves and he did not want the slaves to be free, and his flag was like a type of ownership, you know, to keep the slaves free. I'm sorry, keep the slaves and not for free. Okay, that being said, okay. Now, you know, Karen Cooper, the black girl, I've been doing a little research for you, and, you know, just want to let you know, mother helps out many people. But I just wanted to let you know, Miss Karen, the KKK is looking for supporters. Okay. According to their website, the National Congress, they're looking for people, you know, in Harrison and Arkansas. And the group made themselves more known, you know, after the killing of the 9 black people inside the church by Dayton, and they call that a victory, Karen. You know, and I'm sure there's more Karens out there who feel as though, you know, people make up their own laws and stuff like that. Now, the thing about it is that they want to have this like a little, you know, allegedly, they want to have this like little thing of meeting of the KKK because they want to try to get it get it back started. So they're letting you know that wear casual attire, and it's scheduled fun, and including ping pong ball, football or foosball. They said foot, but I'm thinking of football, but I don't know what foot is, so maybe it's foosball. And there's going to be folks dancing, and there's going to be cross-sliding, girl. Cross-sliding, yes. If you're lucky, you may get picked to lay on the cross and be lit up. But anyway, that being said, they want to bring back the fact of, you know, the cross-lighting and stuff like that. They want to bring it back and stuff like that, you know, and dispel the darkness. Now, they don't want you to leave your kids at home. So if you got any kids, you know, just bring them on out. Because the children are the target of to try to start promoting more hate. Because, you know, in the world we live in, we don't have enough hate. We got too much love, so we want to promote hate. That's sarcasm, just in case someone doesn't know. Now, if you have someone to watch your baby, so they're going to have a nursery there. They're going to provide a nursery so your kids can be watched, you know, but y'all having your little party and stuff like that. So, and if you have kids that are at home, you know, kids that can't find a job and stuff like that, they're telling you to bring them. Because basically they want to target the kids because they want to try to keep this hate going. Because in the world, we don't have enough hate. We don't have enough of that. We got a Karen Cooper who wants to sit among the people who are promoting hate. And she said, oh, girl, that doesn't bother me. I'll just sit there and watch. Because slavery was a choice, right, Karen? Go up in the meeting, like I told you before, bring your hors d'oeuvres, and, you know, they said they're going to have potatoes, girl, just bring it all up in there. And I want you to sit in the back, because after all, slavery didn't exist. You have to sit in the back of the room or the back of the bus. Well, I guess it won't be a bus. But you sit in the front, girl. Where they got the little KKK stuff up there, girl, with their little sheets and they Martha Stewart living and stuff like that. Not to say Martha Stewart, but, you know, the sheets. I'm sure they won't be, because then you could come in as a spy, but we don't want that because we wouldn't have the whole Rachel thing about being black and stuff like that, because that'll be a whole other issue and stuff like that. Anyway, that being said, so I want you to go up inside the girl, sit in the front, you know, just eat your popcorn and just look around, everybody looking at you like, because you got your Confederate flag. Anyway, that being said, so let me just read a little bit more of what I was saying. Now, see, the thing about it is that they want to start a recruitment campaign this week, and they're going to be bringing bags of candy, flyers at least in 6 states. Now, the 6 states that they're trying to target in, I think, be by, July the 18th, which is California, Kansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and Georgia. They will hold these camps and train you for future leaders so we can have more killing. Yay! Okay, in July 18th, they're planning in South Carolina, and they're going against the Confederate flag. So basically, they want to boycott, go back against, to try to get rid of the Confederate flag, and they want to bring it back. So on July the 18th, they're going to try to bring it back. They're so proud of dealing who went inside and killed those black people inside the churches that they feel as though they got a victory. I make fun of this and stuff like that, but the sad part is that it's very real. We have enough hate in the world. We have enough people going against each other. And the thing about it is that I understand there's a place and there's a time and place for everything, and everyone is not going to agree with me. Some people feel as though the KKK should come back. Some people feel as though that we should start promoting hate. And, the thing about it, my thing is this, that the KKK has not really went away. And the thing about it is that I don't think it ever will. The world we live in, it promotes a lot of negativity. And the sad part about it, as a unity, we could grow. And I'm not saying, everybody white, because obviously I'm talking about Cameron, which is black. But the thing about it is that we have to learn to work together within this world. And I know we won't sing Kumbaya, not everyone. Because the thing about it is that as a unity, we can grow. But divided will fall. And we can pass the race thing, stuff like that, which I know we won't. But it could be a start towards something else. Now, the thing about it that gets me is that, the Ku Klux Klan and stuff like that, you want to, I'm sure you have your sheets. You probably won't, because obviously a lot of people who are in this type of thing are actually sitting in front of us. The thing about it is that it amazes me that when Dalen was inside, his friends came out, they were black people. And the sad part about it, you were sitting among someone who didn't even like your race, and it was there with you. It amazes me. It amazes me what we accept in this world. You got Donald Trump, who wants to run for president, and the first thing he says is he starts attacking the Mexicans. And then on top of that, they showed me something in reference to a suit. Let's just see this suit right here. Okay, that was a suit. I don't know if it's fraud or not, but it was made by the Mexican people. And it's funny how you sit amongst people, you're thinking they're really for you, and they're not. I always tell people, and I know I'm going to sound jaded because you know how I am, but I always say watch the people around you. And I always say that very closely, and I always say watch the ones you call your friend. Anyway, that being said, I just want to put that out there and stuff like that, and hopefully everybody's having a safe weekend and stuff like that. And I want to hear how you feel about that. The Ku Klux Klan, and they're trying to reform, and they're trying to, and I believe they left a message in reference to they're the ones who burned down the church. They're going through the electrical wiring to make it without a trace. It amazes me. Do you know they're deporting people back into? I was reading something, but I'm not going to go into that right now. That'll be another day, because that's another story. How they're going into Dominicans, sending them back and stuff like that, putting them in places that they don't even know where they're at. I don't know, but I always said before, the negative overconquer the positive. If somebody could do something good, it'll never really be seen. If you do bad things in life, people recognize it. That's how it is. That's the world we live in. Anyway, that being said, I want to say, something else. I was informed that I don't know my history when it comes down to black people and stuff like that, and I need to know my history, why the church burned us and stuff like that. It's been going on. Maybe if I go into my history and stuff like that. It amazes me how someone wants to tell me how I am when I've done countless videos on different things within life, not just black, not just white, not just Spanish, not just Puerto Rican, not just Haitian, of everything and every race. Now, my question is, you want to stand up, you want to support the churches and stuff, and that's not a problem with me, trust me. But I'm going to tell you something. When you want to close your eyes to this, Miss Bible swinging whore, you want to close your eyes to this, how come it's so hard for me to convince someone to live after they done went up in church and you told them they're going to burn in hell for being who they are, and I'm trying to talk them out of committing suicide when you're handing them the knife to put into their heart. You know how hard it is for me to try to talk somebody out of committing suicide who's in up there on their last breath because of the church. I mean, we're going to talk about the church burners and stuff like that, and my heart goes out to the people who's disaffected and who, you know, have had to go through this type of experience. But the thing about it is that I've always been the type of person who went to church and stuff like that, and I always learned my history when it comes to the church of, you know, with the black slaves and the white owners and stuff like that, as far as, you know, and the 4 girls that were killed inside of the church and stuff like that, the 4 little girls. My thing is, it's always somebody's going to tell me about history. Let's talk about history as of 2015. Let's talk about how many times you sit up there inside the church and y'all want to supposed to be a place of God, which is obviously not a place of God. My thing is this, is that you sit up inside the church, you want to talk to me about church history. Let's talk about church history. Since you want to school me, let me school you on a few things. Okay, we talk about church and stuff like that. We got the people who come out inside to my, oh, homosexuals and gays and all this stuff like that. That's a promotion of hate. God hates fags. That's not in the Bible. However, that's all we hear when we think of God hates fags. We know it's from the church when it comes down to y'all. Unless I'm misinformed and it's come from somewhere else, I'm sure it is. However, we've also been taught that God don't like homosexuality, God don't like gay people and stuff like that. Okay, we push this. Well, let's give you a prime example. We sit up here, we push this up until the younger generation. These younger generation have children. Guess what happened to the children? They children comes out and they end up being gay. Guess what that older generation that we taught them that God hates against homosexuality and against gay people, those people right there are like our parents. They have children which are like us, and then the simple fact of the matter is that our parents get rid of us, and that's a form of God, because guess what? The parents wants to go to heaven, so they feel as though since God gave them this present, which obviously was not a present to them, they got rid of it. Now let me just ask you this question, since you know so much about the church, since it's not what y'all do, you know, what the church whole thing goes. Now this child goes around and they feel like they're lost in their lost soul that's going through this earth trying to find somebody to love them, somebody to care. Sometimes they turn to drugs, sometimes they turn to self-medication, sometimes they turn to abuse, sometimes they turn to murder, sometimes they end up killing themselves. You know what it's like to sit down with someone who's heard all their life through the church that God's going to hate them and they're going to burn in hell? You know what it's like to convince them that God didn't say that? Do you know what it's like, how hard it is? You're a person that's trying to get them to live while your message was to tell them to die. You know what it's like when I'm battling against that, when I have to sit there and constantly trying to work on them and constantly tell them, no, God didn't say that, but God said, no, God didn't say that, no, God said, but, and then they start reading verses from the Bible and stuff like that. You know, it's amazing me how you premeditate all this stuff into these people, and then you push it out there, and then you holler, the church. If church was a church of God, then why are we not saving people's souls? And I'm not saying every church, but a lot of y'all are killing them. I have to sit back and talk somebody off an edge of killing themselves, and guess what happens? They kill themselves. Let me tell you something, and it's very personal to me when it comes to the churches and stuff like that, because I was a person in church, and the thing about it was like, before I had went into my suicide attempt, and I wasn't going to talk about this before, I went to every church. I went from one church, I went from another church, and I went from another church, and I went from another church. And I'm going to tell you something what happened. They gave me a message. I was told that my clothes, I was told about my shoes. And these are the things I learned from church. Now I'm there because I'm at the point in my life, I'm about to kill myself. I don't want to be here. I'm over it. And the simple fact of the matter is that the church, oh girl, you must have didn't go to the right church. Well, the last time I checked, there are parents getting rid of their kids because of God in your church. There are parents that have left their kids to wander through the world and never see them again because of your church. There's a kid that's about to commit suicide, and I'm trying to talk them off the edge because of your church. So forgive me if I sit back and I watch church burners and I say, there's a lot of history, and the simple fact of the matter is that it's a lot that you church people have done. I sit back and watch a man who sings up the cloth, who's a homosexual, who sits around and talk about everybody else need to be saved by the Lord, but yet and still, he can't even sit back and accept his truth because of the church. I watch a man deal with a woman who don't even want a woman, deal with her because of the church. So how much good is coming from the church if it's a church of God, and God means love? Where is the love coming from? It ain't coming from God. The hate is coming from y'all, and you're promoting it, and you're promoting it. You know what it's like to keep constantly trying to talk somebody off the edge? Do you know what it's like when you win as the church people and I can't get a break to get them to live? I'm fighting for their life, and you telling them to go, but it's in the church. because that makes it right. Anyway, that being said, I just wanted to put that out there because my tape had cut off and I just felt that there was a message that needed to be said on this Sunday morning. Forgive me for giving my voice and my opinion on me trying to save another life when it comes down to the church. Anyway, that being said, I want to say hello on new people, boom. I want to say old people, bam. And I want to thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. What you do to you, I want you to do best with it you can. And if nobody don't like it, then fuck them.